Dear students, today I am going to explain you about appendages of prawn, that is Penaeus, and the concept of serial homology. What is homology? English biologist, comparative anatomist and paleontologist Sir Richard Owen coined the term homology. Homology, similarity or resemblances in structure and functions due to common ancestry or inheritance. Homologous organs, you may heard about, they are organs which have a common anatomical plan and embryonic origin, may be varied in functions and morphology. You may see here homologous organs. This is a flipper of whale, forelimb of frog, horse limb, lion limb, hand of human, the patagium of a bat and the wing of bird. All these are homologous organs. They have a common anatomical plan. You may see here the bone structure they are supporting are the same. This is the humerus bone, then these are radio ulna, and these are the phalanges. Same you will find in all these wing of bat and bird and the human hand, all this, So they have same anatomical plan and embryological origin, but they are doing different functions. You can see the wing of bird and the bat, they are used for flying purpose, and the in the case of whale, it is the flipper is used for swimming purpose, and what all the things we do in our hand, that. So this is how these are the homologous organs. What is the serial homology? So the homology can be recognized not only between different organisms, what you have seen already, but also between the repetitive structures of the same organism termed serial homology. So these are the series of organs. They have a same anatomical plan, but they are doing different functions. So this best example is the serial homology exists between organs of the same individual occur at different levels of the body. Example is serial homology between the arms and legs of humans. So arms and legs, they have the same anatomical plan, but they are doing different functions. You can see the leg is doing the locomotion and walking, whereas the hand is doing the manipulating or handling lot of things. So they have the same anatomical plan. You can see the bone supporting them. There is this region there is a single bone, and in this region there are two bones. Here it is called radio ulna, here it is called tibiofibula. Then the ankle region, here the wrist region, they have same types of bones you will find, only they are called in a different names, that's it. So this is what you can see, the serial homology. So the repetitive the structures, they are present in the same organisms. They have a same anatomical plan, but they are doing different functions, and they may have different morphology. This is what you can see. So they are the repetitive structures, series of structures. They have same anatomical base you will find. So this is what you can see, the serial homology. That we can see, the very good example is the appendages of prawn or appendages of crustaceans. They have the good example for serial homology. So you will able to see there are 19 pairs of appendages in the case of prawn. There are 19 segments. Cephalothorax, this is the cephalothorax region. So this is the cephalic region, thoracic region and abdominal region. So in the cephalic region 5 segments, thoracic region 8 segments and abdominal region 6 segments. So there are 5 pairs of cephalic appendages, 8 pairs of thoracic appendages, and 6 pairs of abdominal appendages. So all these appendages, they have a same basic plan, but depending on the location they are located, and depending on their functions, they may differ. So the appendages in the front region, they are sensing, or they are sensory structures. Appendages near the mouth, you can see they are modified for feeding purpose. Appendages in the thoracic region, they are modified for walking purpose. Appendages in the abdominal region, they are modified for swimming purpose. So there are 19 pairs of biramus appendages you will find in case of prawn. So one pair for each segment, all built on same basic pattern, but serving different or diverse functions. Sensing, that is in the sensory appendages, chewing, the masticating mandibles, food handling, you will find maxillipedes, then walking, you can see periopods. So then for the mating, you will find the first abdominal appendage. So the egg carrying and swimming, the pleopods in the abdomen. So you will find even though they have a same anatomical plan, they are doing different functions, and they were modified to do those functions. So this is what called serial homology that is existed in the appendages of the crustaceans and the appendages of the prawn. Let us concentrate now on the structure and functions of these appendages in detail. So as I said, the appendages in the Penaeus, it is the typical biramus appendage. We have discussed already this biramus appendage, it is they have got a basal stalk. This is the basal stalk through which it is attached to the body. This is called protopodite. It has got 2 podomeres, the coxa through which it is attached to the body, and the basis. From this basal stalk, there are 2 branches or 2 rami. You will find 2 rami or 2 branches. The one is exopodite towards outer surface, and then towards the inner side, this is called endopodite. Both this exopodite and endopodite made out of many podomeres. So this made out of many joints you will find. So this is the plan. This is the dorsal plate, the dorsal exoskeletal plates, terga, and this is the ventral plate, sterna, and this how this biramus appendages are attached. This is with the help of the protopodite, they attach it to the sternal plates. So they have 2 rami or 2 branches. So that's why it is called biramus appendages. So let us study these appendage one by one. So let us first see the cephalic appendages. There are 5 pairs of cephalic appendages, that is the appendages, they are present in the cephalic or the head region. These are a pair of antenules. You will find in the just below the eye, you can see this is a pair of antenules. So these antenules, they have the protopodites, they have 3 segments you will find. There is a precoxa, coxa and basis. To this protopodite, there are 2 rami you will find. Those are exopodite and endopodite. They modified into feelers. So this is the actual photograph you will find, and these are the drawing you will find. So these are, as I said, they are sensory in functions, they are tactile sensory in functions, and also they are olfactory sensory, they are doing olfactory sensory functions. They can able to sense the smell also, or the chemical signaling you will find, or sensing you will find from this antenules. Then you will find just below this, you will find antenna. So this is just below this, you can see the antenna which is having long feeler, you will able to see. So this is having, antenna is having, this is the basal segment to which it is attached to the body. So coxa and basis. Then see the exopodite here, it is broad plate like exopodite and flat in this is called squama, and then the endopodite is modified into long feeler. So this is it can it's a longer than the body of the prawn, and it is throwing this this feeler from both the side and exploring the surrounding region with the help of this. So this is the sensory, tactile sensory organ, the antenna. So the next other three cephalic appendages are mandibles, first maxillae and second maxillae. So let us see the mandible that is present inside the mouth. It is having coxa, having a teeth structure. You can make out. These are the you know the they are thick and hard structure, and these are used for mastication. How we use our teeth for mastication, the same. Then see the endopodite. It is slender, and it is used to push the food particles towards this mandible so that they get churned. Exopodite is absent in this. Then the first maxilla, this is the first maxilla. All these are cephalic appendages. They are present inside the mouth, and this is maxilla, and this maxilla is the smallest appendage you will find. It has got three you can see the filaments. The one is, you can see the protopodite. These are the protopodite. They are two flat lobe like structure. Then the endopodite is slender, exopodite is absent. This is also assisting in the feeding, and it acts like how our tongue is doing. Then second maxilla, just below the mouth you will find, this is the second maxilla, the photograph, and this is the drawing you will find. So this also the protopodite, the basal segment. Then the endopodite is slender, you can see the small one. The exopodite is like a ear shape, you can see, it is like a ear shape, you can see. So this is for feeding, and this exopodite is preventing while churning the food particles, or the food is not going to fall down because of this the flattened exopodite. And also they also assist in the respiration purpose. These are all about 5 pairs of cephalic appendages. So next, what about the thoracic appendages? In the thoracic region there are 8 appendages, 3 pairs of maxillipedes or foot jaws, and 5 pairs of walking legs. They are called periopods. So all these appendages, what you see, these are called the thoracic appendages. So 3 pairs of maxillipedes and 5 pairs of walking legs or periopods. So they have protopodites having 2 podomeres. All these having the protopodites, they have 2 podomeres, as you know, coxa and basis, and endopodite, and they have 5 podomeres, and these 5 podomeres are called they have names: ischium, meris, corpus, propodes, and dactylus. But exopodite is unsegmented. So then let us see each of this. The 3 pairs of maxillipede, the first pair of maxillipede, they have, you will find they have the flat protopodite, then the long endopodite like a feeler like, and you can see the broad exopodite. So this used for feeding, and there is a structure called the epipodite for respiration. So these are used for feeding and respiration. Then second maxillipede, this is second maxillipede. So you can identify easily the second maxillipede have a question mark like endopodite. Then exopodite is long. Then the protopodite is having a structure, Y-shaped structure. These are called epipodite. This is for respiration. So this curved like a question mark, like they have 5 podomeres. You can see this is the endopodite. This also used for feeding and also for respiration. Then third pair of maxilliped, you can see this is the third pair of maxilliped. These are protopodite. So the long you will find endopodite having 5 podomeres, and exopodite and epipodite. This also feeding and respiration. So the next you will find 5 pairs of periopods. In this 5 pairs of periopods, there are chelate legs. These are all used for walking. That's why they are called walking legs. So these there are 2 types of walking legs, 3 pairs of chelate legs and 2 pairs of non-chelate legs. So the chelate means they have the one, you can see the endopodite, the endopodite, the last podomere of the endopodite, it is having a fork like structure. You will be able to see this is called chela. And whereas in non-chelate there is no this fork like structure, you will find. So this chelate leg, just see this is the protopodite, and long endopodite having 5 podomeres. These are the ischium, meres, corpus, propodes, and propodes and dactylus, they are forming the chela, or you can see the forceps like structure. They are for balancing. Then exopodite is small and slender reduced, and this is epipodite for the respiration. This is for grasping, locomotion, and supporting the body on the hard substratum. So that is what you can see, the chelate leg. So you will able to see these are the chelate legs. You will find this is the chela. So this is the photograph. So then the non-chelate legs, they don't have forceps like structure. The other structures are same. 4th and 5th walking leg is non-chelate. They have the same similar structure, only the thing you will find, the forceps like structure is absent, you will find. So this you can see again the same function you will find. So these 2 are non-chelate legs, you can see. Totally there are 3 pairs of maxillipids and 5 pairs of the periopods or walking legs. Next, abdominal appendages. There are 6 pairs of abdominal appendages. They are called pleopods. They are used for swimming. So these each abdominal appendage, they are having a similar structure, you will find. So the abdominal appendage, this is the typical abdominal appendage. These are protopodite. So the coxa basis, then this is the endopodite, and this is the exopodite. So this is the typical 3rd, 4th, the 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. They have this typical biramus appendage like abdominal appendages. Whereas the first pair of abdominal appendage and the last pair, the 6th pair, is little different. The first pair you will able to find there is a sexual dimorphism, you can see. In the case of male, the endopodite of both the side, they fuse it in the middle and they form a patasma structure. These are used to open the genital opening of the female during copulation. This is by this you can able to make out this is male. In the case of female, it is not fused. These are separate, you can see. So these are protopodite, then exopodite and endopodite. It's not fused like in the case of the male. So this is what you will find the difference between male and the female. Whereas coming to the uropod, it is just below the telson or the tail portion. You will find the uropod. You will find these are the protopodite. There is a single protopodite. Then exopodite and endopodite, both are the broad, and they are for you can see the balancing and backward swimming they are used. So this is what you can see. Similar structure, caudal fin structure in the case of fishes. Similar structure what you see, the uropod, the last the appendage, last pair of appendage. This is what the photograph you can see. These are second, third and fourth and the fifth pair of abdominal appendage. You will find this structure. So this is again the first pair of abdominal appendage where you can see the petasma structure. You can make out this is male and this is female, it is absent. So first pleopod in the male Penaeus, petasma. So the endopodite of both the side, they fused in the middle and they are forming the copulatory structure. This is called petasma, which is absent in the case of female. In the case of female, they are modified into a structure. There is a plate-like structure. You will find it is not the appendage, but the sternal plate modified into a plate-like structure, the thelicum. This is the sexual dimorphism you will find between the male and the female. So this is about the appendages of Penaeus, and they are good example for serial homology. Even though they have a same anatomical plan, but their morphology is differed because of their different functions, you can see. So this is about the appendages of Penaeus. Thank you.